Yo, what is good? What is good? What is good? What is good with everybody in the chat, man? How is everybody doing? Hope everybody's doing well, man. How is everybody's day going? I know, I know a lot of you guys still may need to work tomorrow. I'm one of those guys, but happy weekend to most of you guys, man. How is everybody? Look, I'm bringing you guys this today, man. I have to talk about guys that I think will rise after the combine. We have to talk about guys that I believe will rise, possibly fall, or maybe reestablish their draft stock after the combine because the combine is this coming week. It's this coming week, so exciting times, man. A lot of new news. Hopefully we'll get to see, maybe last year we got to see a leak of the Miami Dolphins draft board after the combine. Hopefully maybe we could see a Raider leak of the combine, man. Of the draft board after the combine. I'm very, very excited. But shout out to everybody who's already in here. I think there's back-to-back days. Renato's the first one in here. Shout out to my guy, man. What's good? We got Joy Boy in the chat. What's up, my boy? AD, this man, he never misses a live. What's good with you, Sean? I just replied to you on Instagram, man. And that's very interesting. That's very, very interesting, man. But I don't really trust Pat McAfee and his sources, But it is what it is. Shout out to Jose. He says, watching you at work, keep up the good work. Hey, I hope the rest of your shift goes by pretty quick, man. I hope you got work tomorrow, Jose, man. Because if you do, we're in the same boat. But hey, hopefully it goes by quick for you, man. But look, turn up the volume. Bet. Hold on. You can hear me better now. You can hear me better now. Volume should be good. Good evening, Andy. Was good. Was good with you, Ruben. And James. We got TV in here. He told me to turn up the volume. It should be turned up now. Should be turned up now. But listen, you guys. There's a couple names off the top of my head. You can already see some of the guys in the thumbnail of today's live, man, that I think will either rise, maybe fall, reestablish. Now I'm gonna start off with the position of need, possibly in some of your guys' eyes, the biggest position of need for the Las Vegas Raiders, and that's the fact that we have a big hole at right tackle. We have a big hole at right tackle. Brandon Parker's not a right tackle. Alex Leatherwood, he's not a right tackle. Um, who knows? Denzel Good, if you keep him on the roster, he could possibly be a right tackle, but I don't think he's a right tackle. You got other guys, Jermaine Illuminor, maybe if he's re-signed, he could possibly be a right tackle. But personally, you guys, one of the biggest names, one of my favorite prospects before the Senior Bowl, and I'm hoping he could reestablish himself with a couple good things at the combine. That's Daniel Falele, offensive tackle. We need somebody at the position. Now, when you look at the measurables, 6'8", 350, 360 pounds. If you're an offensive line coach, you're like, well, get me that guy right now, right? If you're a good offensive line coach, you want the biggest, the nastiest, and the strongest guy at the position, right? Daniel Falele has the potential to be that guy. With his frame, with his size, he has the potential to be that guy. Now, he is very, very green in football. He is very, very new to the sport. With his performance at the Senior Bowl, I felt like it kind of dropped his stock just a bit. Um, you know, I saw him get beat a lot. I saw him get kind of exposed on the inside, man. So hopefully, going into the combine, he can reestablish his draft stock. Maybe put up a crazy number on the bench press. Hopefully, he can do a couple more drills that really show that he has strength and power. Every year we see them doing the sled drill. Hopefully, he could really dominate and show good leverage on that. But Daniel Falele, one of my favorite guys before the Senior Bowl. He dropped a lot for me. He dropped a lot on my um, draft stock board just off the pure performance of his play at the Senior Bowl. Okay, I saw him get beat a lot, specifically on the inside. I saw him get beat with speed. We have speed in our division at the edge rusher position. You're not really going to beat him with strength. You're not, and that's the biggest part. He can be a mauler in the offense. He can move. He's athletic, but you have to be more than that in the National Football League. So number one is Daniel Falele. I really, really, really hope that he can put up some big numbers. And for these offensive linemen, you're really hoping that they can go to the combine and get at least 30 reps. 30 reps on the 225, okay? They're not going to run crazy quick, but for these offensive linemen nowadays, especially for these tackles, offensive tackles, you want them to be getting that 30 rep mark at 225. You want them to be able to hit that margin nowadays because it's getting more and more competitive. These guys are getting stronger. They're developing at an earlier age. You got guys that are in high school that can hit 225 for 15 reps already. So it's like, bro, you you got to be able to hit a certain threshold. Now, another guy that I really want to talk about as well, offensive lineman. I feel like he will improve his draft stock, and that's Cade Mays, offensive guard, interior offensive lineman out of Tennessee. Now, you guys have heard me talk about this man since day one. I really like versatility at the position, especially going into the combine where you really just show off how athletic you are, how good you can move, how strong you are. I think this will improve Cade May's draft stock. Now, it could hurt it for him. It honestly could hurt him if he does not perform too well. And what I mean by that is if he gets, let's say, 20 in the 20s, low 20s of 225, it may knock him. People may start to think that he may not have the strength to play full time in the National Football League at the interior position. You're messing around with a lot of big boys in the interior, right? So there's a lot of that stuff to look into. Cade Mays, you guys always hear me say this, man. I love the fact that he went from Georgia. He played in a power gap scheme in Georgia. No, he went from Georgia, played in a zone gap scheme in Georgia, then went to Tennessee, played in a power gap scheme in Tennessee. In both places that he went, he looked good, he looked comfortable, he looked like he belonged. So that's something that I really, really like about Cade Mays, man. Really, really enjoy his play. I believe that once he hits the combine, if he runs, I mean, I'm not sure. I'm not really sure. 40-yard dash doesn't really mean anything for the interior offensive lineman or offensive lineman in general. Um, Offensive linemen will pull. That's about the most they would do in terms of running in space, besides maybe a couple screen plays. But the 40-yard dash isn't too big. But honestly, the sled drills, technique and leverage and all that kind of stuff, pad level, is very, very good. It's very, very good for him. And obviously, the 225. The 225 is what you want to see them do. Let's see. Let's see about anybody else in the chat. He says shout out to AD who's getting beat a lot at the Senior Bowl, but Trevor Penning was also getting beat a lot with speed. Yeah, the offensive tackles. I mean, there's no doubt that the guys that were at the combine or that were at the Senior Bowl were good players. The edge rushers that went were good players. There's no doubt about that. They were good. They were good players. So I'm not necessarily worried about a guy like Trevor Penning, but I felt like Trevor Penning, his technique looked a little bit better. Obviously, he's been playing football for longer. I felt like Trevor Penning understood the leverage in which he was playing with a little bit more than Daniel Falele. But you look at Daniel Falele's measurables, and you're like, man, there's no way he can't become a beast in the NFL, right? Let's see. We got Raider Raider S says what's up Renato was good. Let's see. What up Andy was good. Raider Ray. Who else we got? Do you think Charles Cross would be an option for us if he slips? The only Cross that I've been done enough homework on to speak on as of late is Nick Cross out of Michigan. I really, really, really like him. So if you miss out on a guy like Verone McKinley in the third or second round, maybe possibly wait until the fourth and get Nick Cross in the fourth, or use one of your back-to-back picks and get a Nick Cross. He's a baller. I really, really like him. I really, really like him. He's a former track star. He really won't get beat over the top, and he has great measurables. He has great measurables, great height, great length. Really good at the catch point and being able to disrupt catches on the receivers. But let's see. We got GC says, I hope the Raiders fill their holes in free agency so they can draft best player available. That's always the best case scenario, right? But I do feel like there's positions in free agency that you won't be able to fill, and that you would have to fill in the draft. Personally, I feel like defensive tackle is one of them. You could try and address defensive tackle, possibly go out and get Brandon Williams, maybe go out and get um, Levon Joseph. Both of them are veterans. Both of them are true nose technique. So they are plug and play guys at the position, but they are older. They are you know at their later stages of their career. So you wouldn't really want to rely on them having to play so many games, but at the same time, they have a proven resume in the league, right? But personally, I feel like defensive tackle is a must address need in the draft. You have to. Who's your sleeper in the draft? Depending on how let's see, depending on how who is he? Who is he? Not Smoke Monday. Depending on how Smoke Monday does in his defensive back drills, I feel like Smoke Monday could definitely go up in draft boards. But if you're talking about uh depends. It depends at what position, because I wouldn't really say there's sleepers. I think there's a ton of value in this draft though. I think that this draft has crazy value even in the later rounds. So it's very interesting. Um in my opinion, I wouldn't necessarily say that there's any sleepers. I feel like there's guys that in other years would have gone earlier than before or than this year. Salute Raider Nation was good. Andy was good. EC was good. We got he says 73. Skip us. Andy was good with you, my guy. Trade idea number 22 and next year's first to Baltimore for 14 and 99. Pick 14 Devin Lloyd. I would do it, but I think, well, is number 14 before Philadelphia? Is 14 before Philly? Sign them to 1 year deals. It's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. Um, but I feel like we kind of already experienced signing guys to 1 year deals, Um, so it's kind of tough. Charles Cross, the offensive tackle at Mississippi. I like Abraham Lucas. I also like Myron Cunningham. Um, the offensive tackle, he should be there in the later rounds. Um, if you could choose anyone, absolutely anyone in the draft, who would you choose to fill a need or not? Anyone in the draft. Kyle Hamilton. Kyle Hamilton. EC. Yes, one before. Okay, so you're jumping right in front of Philly, who needs a linebacker. Um, I would do it. I would do it, but you're giving up two firsts, gaining a third this year. I would do that. I think that that's good value. I think that's good value, honestly, because you're taking two picks from Baltimore this year, and all you're doing is giving up uh third round next year in the first round. I think that's what you meant to say. You think we can sign Brandon Cooks and DJ Chark? The thing is, Red Array, Brandon Cooks, I think there'll be a team that'll trade for him. So it's just a matter if we're the team that trades for him. I honestly do believe like that Houston could get a fifth, a sixth. I think the Raiders would trade a fourth for Brandon Cooks. But do I think that we have enough money to sign Brandon Cooks and DJ Chark? Yes, I think we can make the money if we wanted to, but I feel like that's a waste of money because with how talented this receiver class is, and I understand you may want these guys because they're proven, but I think with this receiver class, you most definitely go out, get one receiver in free agency, maybe re-sign a guy like Zay Jones, and then what you do going forward is go out and draft a guy maybe in the first, Maybe in the second, maybe in the third. But I feel like draft signing two guys in free agency at the position for bigger contracts may be um, uh, maybe a little bit too much money against the cap. You think Max Crosby can make a run at Defensive Player of the Year under Patrick Graham? It's possible. It's possible. But do I think so? Honestly, not. No, because the reason why I say that is that Max Crosby's a phenomenal player. He's a great player, but at the end of the day, it's tough. He's gonna have to then have to really, really, really assert his dominance. You got T.J. Watt, who's absolutely amazing. You got Micah Parsons, who's absolutely amazing. I mean, if Aaron Donald doesn't retire, you got Aaron Donald. Um, so it'll be tough. It'll be very, very tough to win Defensive Player of the Year with those names out there. But I feel like it could definitely be done. And I feel like if Max Crosby is to win Defensive Player of the Year, his best chances would be under this new defensive coordinator, Patrick Graham. So there's that. Get two vet wide receivers, draft one. I think that's too much money. I think that's too much money. Um, you know, What's good, bro? What's good, Kane? What's up with you, my boy? DJ never had a QB like Derek Carr. I would agree with you. I would definitely agree with you. But at the same time, DJ does have a little bit of injury concern. But I'm not against getting DJ Chark. I'm not. Why does every YouTuber want to get rid of every good player on the squad and draft rookies? I don't know. I mean, what good players on the roster do we want to get rid of? I think the only good player that I've talked about that I would willingly get rid of is Yannick Ngakwe. I haven't talked about Waller. I haven't talked about DC. Um, Josh Jacobs. I talked about Josh Jacobs, but Josh Jacobs is playing the most replaceable position in football. You know, just got off from the grind, just kicking back, ready for the combine. Can't wait. Hey man, same here, brother. Just got off work. I'm going back to work tomorrow, but it is what it is. And I'll be. I won't be live during the combine, but I'll be live the second I get home from work. So that's how we'll do it. Who will you put next to Trayvon Merrick in Graham's too high draft or sign a safety? Here's the thing. If you go out and address the safety position in free agency, then it allows you to go and double dip on a position in the draft. So I would love for the Raiders to get another guy. Um, you guys heard me talk about Justin Reed. I really like Justin Reed. I also really like Marcus May. Shout out to Wasted. Wasted has mentioned Jordan Whitehead, although Jordan Whitehead is not my favorite. Um, I wouldn't mind it, but Trayvon Merrick has a lot of range. He has a lot of range, and Merrick doesn't need somebody next to him that's gonna be like a do it all guy, because Merrick is the do it all guy. Merrick needs somebody next to him that's good, that'll get his job done, and then Merrick will make all the plays. So I think that Justin Reed is a phenomenal guy. He's under the radar. He's very, very young. You can get him for a decent deal, and you fill a need. And I understand some of you guys may be thinking, well, why are you talking about Justin Reed? He's a free safety. Well, in this scheme, Patrick Graham uses basically two free safeties. If you look at it, Logan Ryan and Xavier McKinney are both free safeties, and those were the two guys he put in the split high safety coverage, and then he dropped Jabril Peppers down to be a linebacker hybrid slash safety hybrid guy. So you need two guys that can really, really cover. Justin Reed is really a good guy. Marcus May adds versatility. He can cover. He can come into the box, which is something that Justin Reed can't really do. But you're gonna have to pay more for that versatility that Marcus May will offer. So there's that as well. I think we got to see the market for Yannick. I like him a lot, but holy shit, he is so one dimensional all of a sudden. He's always been all one dimensional. He's always been one dimensional. That's who Yannick Ngakwe is. That's who Yannick Ngakwe is. He's you know he's He's extremely one dimensional. He's never been good against the run. Um, we thought he was going to do good against the run this year because he put on some extra weight, but honestly, it didn't help him. He was still getting beat. He was still getting handled. And that's not really what you want. That's not really what you want at all. And I mean, one thing I can say about Yannick, phenomenal pass rusher, but I feel like at this point in your career, you should definitely be able to know the difference and be able to recognize the difference between a pass set and when an offensive lineman is getting ready to try and blow you off your tracks. Okay, that's what I feel like you need to be able to recognize. Okay, and I feel like he's not able to do that yet. Like, I don't know why. I think it's very, very simple. An offensive lineman, when he puts his head up and he starts doing that kick that kick slide, get to rushing the passer. But if you see a freaking offensive lineman head down, shoulders low, ready to drive, you better fucking you better strap up, buddy. You know, um, you fucking with right tackle Falele. So I know some of you guys were not in here when I was talking about Daniel Falele, but I feel like he's a guy that his draft stock um fell a bit after the Senior Bowl. But this right here, what I'm bringing to you guys today, is talking about how his people can, their draft stock can rise after the combine. Now, after his stock fell, in my opinion, in after the Senior Bowl, because he did not put up a great Senior Bowl performance. I feel like with him, if he does well in the sled drills in the combine, if he puts up some good numbers on the 225 bench press, I feel like he could reestablish his position as a third round pick, possibly a late second round pick. But Daniel Falele, in my opinion, size, measurables, all that kind of stuff, that's exactly what you want in an offensive tackle. But he's very, very new to the football game, man. He's very, very new to this game, and it's very, very, very tough because when you got these guys in the league, especially these veterans, that you're going to be going up against, it's tough having to have a guy who's extremely new to the football world, and asking him at the same time to know all the plays in the playbook and to be able to block these guys at high levels. So I feel like he definitely, definitely, definitely needs to have a good combine in order for him to assert himself as a third round guy, possibly a second round guy. Okay. Yannick is a free agent next year. Yes, he is, GC. Yes, he is. Xavier Woods, 4.3 mil market value, free safety. We mentioned this yesterday. I feel like Malik Hooker, somebody who a lot of us wanted this last offseason. He's a free agent again. Dallas only signed him to a 1 year deal. He played decent in a rotational role with Dallas. I feel like we should look into a Malik Hooker. Definitely can play that split high safety. That's where he came from in Indianapolis. Indianapolis, he was that guy. He was able to do deep high. He was able to come down. He was able to share the split the field. So I really like Malik Hooker as an option. He should come cheap as well. He only made 900K last year, so that was a bit of a surprise. But Malik Hooker is definitely somebody that I feel like the Raiders should look after in free agency if you want to address the safety need next to Trayvon Merrick before you enter the draft. So we'll see. Do I think Patrick Graham can help Yannick with that? It's tough because he's been with Jacksonville, he's been with Minnesota, he's been with Baltimore, and he's been with Vegas, right? And on top of him with being with four different teams, he's like he's been with Rod Marinelli. Rod Marinelli, one of the greatest defensive line coaches in recent history, one of the most respected defensive line coaches in the league before he retired. And he wasn't able to fix that. Now I'm not saying that maybe Marinelli's a bad coach. I don't think Marinelli's a bad coach, but I feel like it's very, very tough to judge um, if one can help Yannick fix that if you're on your fourth team and you're still having the same problem. I feel like by then you kind of know that it won't ever change. Um, when is the combine? The combine is on Tuesday. Starts on Tuesday, I believe. Ends Thursday. Hooker coming to Vegas. Yeah, that wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that be a name to look after? That'd be funny. That would be real funny. Um, salute chat. Shout out to Sultan Mir, man. Shout out to my guy Sultan. Please, everybody in here, if you haven't already, go check my guy out on his page, Sultan Mir. Indy needs another DN opposite of Quiddy Pay. Yes, but the thing is, obviously, Indianapolis with them hiring Gus Bradley, Gus Bradley has heavy interest and ties with Yannick Ngakoue. He was the one that drafted Yannick Ngakoue and all this stuff. Um, I mean, if Indy will trade and take on his contract, I would trade Yannick to Indianapolis. I would, because I feel like Malcolm Kuntz deserves and possibly may be ready to take that next leap. You know, send Yannick for a fourth. I would do it. I would do it. I would do it. I'll take a fourth round pick for Yannick. I believe he got traded to. I believe he got traded to Minnesota for a third, and then I think he got traded to Baltimore for a third as well. So I would do it. I would do it. I mean, you would then fill a need for Indianapolis. They need a guy that can help DeForest Buckner on pass rushing situations. You would now have a guy that can help Quiddy Pay develop a little bit, not being double teamed a lot. So it would help them. It would help them. It would help them. It would. But listen, man, I think the main guy that we all wanted to talk about and that kind of stuff on this chat right here is Treylon Burks. Treylon Burks, he's going to the combine. He's going to light up the combine. Treylon Burks will have himself a field day at the combine, man. I feel like he right there will do a great job, and I feel like at the end of the day, it's going to hurt Raiders. At the end of the day, it's going to hurt the Raiders, man. I feel like with him, he's going to put up some great numbers. Um, I feel like the Raiders won't be able to get him in the first round. I feel like you would have to trade up for Treylon Burks. I feel like Treylon Burks is going to honestly he's going to I think he might be the surprise of the combine. Coming from what is it? Arkansas? Arkansas, right? Yeah, coming from Arkansas, you got these bigger names, but he runs a 4.5 40. Hey, if he runs a 4.5, then possibly not. I would be happy if he ran a 4.5. But look, look, Treylon Burks, he's gonna light it up, and it's gonna be tough because this has been our guy. We need that guy, but ultimately, he's gonna ball out. Probably run a 4.4. Probably have 10 reps, 12 reps on the 225, if not more. Treylon Burks, I feel like, will be out of reach of the Las Vegas Raiders after the combine, and that's scary because then I think Olave is a better fit right away. I like Olave. I feel like he's overall a better receiver. I feel like Treylon Burks is a better playmaker, but Olave, in my opinion, I agree he's a better receiver than Treylon Burks. I would say that. I would say that. But it's tough. It's tough. Look for Christian Watson sleeper. I feel like Christian Watson will definitely boost his stock. I feel like Christian Watson right now is projected as a late second round guy, early third. I feel like he will cement himself in the second round after the combine, especially after he proves. I believe he'll probably run um, high 4.3. Nah, he'll probably run 4.4. But he's a burner, man. He can really, really run. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Let's pray Drake London and Garrett Wilson go crazy. So maybe Burke falls. Look, I'll say this: I really hope the Raiders don't draft Drake London. I am not a fan of Drake London. I understand Drake London has the measurables, but I just don't see him working out in the league. I don't. I'm on the Jamo and Garrett Wilson hype train. Those are my guys. Those not necessarily my guys. I mean, Jamo I could see happening just because of the fact that um because of the fact that Jamo has been in the pro style offense with Bill O'Brien, and I feel like Jamo could possibly do some do some big things with the Raiders since Josh McDaniels kind of runs something similar. I feel like he'd fit, but Jamo would not be my pick at 22. I would actually be disappointed if the Raiders did that, but we'll see. We'll see. Might be fast. Thank you. I told Eric the same shit. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Drake London, man. I just don't think he'll translate. Unless the man runs like a 4-3, like Megatron did at 6'5", okay. Well then I'll shut up. But I just don't see it. I just don't see it. Wide receiver Austin the third from Memphis, little small but hella fast. Nah, man. Look. I hope that you know. I really hope that Brian Asamoah kills the combine. If I'm not sure if Asamoah is going, but I feel like he should go. Um, but we'll see. We'll see. There's gonna be certain guys that may or may not go. Obviously, there's gonna be guys that won't run because they're injured. Jamo, Mechie. I don't even think Burks is. I mean, is Drake London even gonna run? Is he good? Is he good off of his injury? Like, is he good? Is he back? Have I watched Pickett's? Pickett's? You mean the quarterback? Or Pickens, the wide receiver? The quarterback is whatever. Pickens, he's a solid guy. He's a solid player. I don't like the Mike Evans comparison. He's not as fast as Mike and can't get enough separation. Yeah, Mike Evans, what people don't understand is Mike Evans, he can high point the ball, he'll moss you, but Mike Evans has very good route running. Mike Evans will get separation on the on the top of the route. Pickens, yeah, I like Pickens. I'm good with him. I doubt London will run, especially with a broken. Yeah, he's not fully healthy, right? He's not fully healthy. Are they gonna do bubble at the combine for the players? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm not sure at all. I'm not sure at all. I don't think so. I don't think they did that last year. I don't think they did that last year. Was there even a combine last year? There was. There was. I'm tripping. Um, Davonte Adams coming to the Raiders. I wish. I wish that would get you your superstar on offense. That would get you your ex receiver. Like that would fill a lot of problems or a need on offense. That would get you a guy that can help you in the red zone. It would just overall help a lot if you were able to get him. But I doubt it'll happen. They said no bubble. NFL said no bubble. Well, there you go. Well, there you go. There's that. There's that. But look, another player that I feel like that'll raise their draft stock in the combine if they do all the drills is a cornerback. Cornerback. There's two. There's two. Trent McDuffie and Andrew Booth Jr. Andrew Booth Jr. I mean, he's a hell of a player. Andrew Booth Jr. is a hell of a player. I feel like Andrew Booth, what he needs, what the combine is gonna allow him to show is this is the thing. The combine is going to allow Andrew Booth Jr. to show off his strengths, his his break his when he breaks on the ball. his play recognition, his reactions, his speed. That's what Andrew Booth is going to be able to show off at the combine, and it's going to help him. But Trey McDuffie, I feel like may rise after the combine. You see him in the underwear Olympics. You see him doing things that he won't really be able to do in shoulder pads and a helmet. But at the end of the day, it'll still help. But those two guys at the cornerback position, I don't think Andrew Booth Jr. will fall anyways to pick 22. Um, but it's possible. London is an animal. You're tripping. I hope I am because I think the Raiders might grab him. I think the Raiders might grab him because of that injury. I think he'll fall to the Raiders. But I mean, I just don't see it with him. I just don't see it with him. I don't. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I don't see it with him. I don't. I don't see it at all. Like at all. Adams is saying 30 million to Green Bay, but to play with Carr, both will take less. Also, no state tax done data. I hope so, man. I hope so. And with the franchise tag window closing soon, we may get to see Davonte Adams actually hit the free agent market. And that would be absolutely insane. That would be absolutely insane, man. That'd be crazy. Like I feel like Green Bay would be absolutely stupid to do that. But hey, do it, Green Bay. He's washed. You don't need him no more. He sucks. Let him test. Think Jones and Edwards are gone. Edwards is under contract. Zay Jones, I think, will end up finding his way back on the roster. Um, I don't see any reason why Edwards would be gone. Edwards is like this is basically his second year because he was hurt. He was hurt, so nah, I think Edwards will still be here. Why pay Adams when you can get two vet wide receivers for one? Because Davonte Adams' style of play is very, very reliable. Doesn't get injured much. He's a superstar. Puts up 1,600 yards. Gets over 15 touchdowns a year. He's a person that the team has to game plan for every week. It opens up other players on the team. You no longer can bracket Darren Waller. You have to bracket, you have to bracket Davonte Adams. Davonte Adams is proven time and time and time again that a bracket, a three-play bracket, a three-person bracket, excuse me, doesn't work against him. He can break game plans down. Um, it allows Hunter Renfrow to like do even more damage in the slot. It allows Josh Jacobs to have more space, less congested in the middle of the field. Like it helps a lot. It helps a lot. But I mean, I agree though. I agree. The money is a lot, but what you're getting is a lot in return as well. The production that you would be getting is a ton as well. So I have to, you know, do both sides. But at the same time, Brandon Cooks is an option as well, whether it's free agency or trade. I'd look at Brandon Cooks. I'd call up Houston. If we sign Tay, I think we'll still need that burner like Mechie or Wandale Robinson. Well, it's the thing. You have a burner on the roster. You have Tyron Johnson. You know, so McDuffie will run a 4-3. I would if he ran a 4-3, bro. You kind of, you kind of, you kind of got to say goodbye to him possibly being there at 22. Let's see. Oh shit, I keep forgetting about Tyron Johnson. Tyron Johnson's on the roster, man. He's a returner as well. You still got DJ Turner as well. Um, I would rather have Robinson and Cooks than just Adams. Well, you got to look at it this way. Those guys, if you trade for Brandon Cooks, you're taking on, let's say his base salary is $17 million. He's not going to take any less than that if he tests free agency. So you're talking about two $17 million receivers. To me, that's $34 million. one 30 receive 30 million. You know, it's a lot of bread, bro. I understand. But you have to be looking at this way, bro. There's one ball that goes around. If you combine the stats of Cooks and Robinson, they might only equal to what Davonte would get. Would you rather have Gilmore or Dante Jackson in free agency? Stephon Gilmore. Stephon Gilmore. Dante Jackson is a great player, but he's a great number two. We have a number two corner on this roster, and that's Trey Von Moon. We need a number one. We need a guy that can shadow the number one receiver on the other team. We need that. We need a guy that can be that coach on the field for Trayvon Mullen because at the end of the day, Trayvon Mullen's going to have to play out of his mind this year. He's on a contract year, and he's going to want to get paid. He's going to want to get paid. So, who knows? Give me Adams and Christian Watson. Holy shit, dude. That would be speed, 6'5" on the outside. Davonte on. Oh my god, that'd be nasty, bro. That'd be nasty. Give me Davonte Adams, Darren Waller, Renfro, unstoppable. We going to the Super Bowl. Hey, Anthony been preaching for Davonte. He been preaching for Davonte. Who's the fastest receiver coming out this year? Not too. Probably late young guy. Um, and a solid vet. Yup. I got Stephon Gilmore, and Levi Wallace. Bro, Gilmore. You had to get Gilmore. You already signed Cravon LeBlanc to be a depth piece. Just go out and get another guy, man. Just go out and get another guy, man. You need a number one, and you can get a number one in free agency. Bro, I think people just keep forgetting that Carlton Davis is a free agent as well. Carlton Davis a free agent as well, man. Go out and get Carlton Davis. Thoughts on Chris Olave? He's a polished receiver. I like Chris Olave. Um, I wouldn't be Chris Olave wouldn't be my first choice at 22, but if we went out and drafted Chris Olave, I wouldn't be mad. But it all depends on what else is on the board. Um, what other talent and what was the value of Chris Olave when we picked him. So I wouldn't be mad at it though, because I know he's a decent player, or not a decent player, because you don't draft a decent player in the first round. I know he's a good player, but I don't know. Carlton Davis is nice and very young. Yeah, he's young. I think he's 26. If I'm correct. Nah, I don't like Trevarius Ward, man. I feel like he'll get penalized too much. Nah, trade Waller to Washington for a second and Payne, unless he drastically changes. He gotta reprove himself. Okay, well, thankfully he's on a $7 million contract. But look, you guys, this is a shorter live today. Very, very short live today. Only 45 minutes, but I feel like I already touched up on all the names that I really, really wanted to talk about in terms of guys that I feel like will rise, probably reestablish their draft stock. We went over Treylon Burks, we ran over Cade Mays, Daniel Falele, and a couple other guys. But yeah, shorter stream today. I've been doing these 2 hour ones, man, but I'm a head off. I'm actually go to sleep at a good time today, man. Cause I gotta wake up. I gotta go to work again tomorrow. Even though it's the weekend. But look, man. I hope everybody is staying safe. Hope everybody has a good rest of their night, good rest of their evening. And if you don't have work tomorrow, well, guess what? Sleep in or stay up late. Whatever you gotta do, man. Whatever you want to do, man. But do it. But yeah, man. I'm a head out. I love you guys, Raider Nation. Take care. Always stay safe. But I'm out.